July 8, quarter to 12. So I bought this device. It measures current going into the battery and out of the battery. Right now it's measuring current going into the battery. And I am going to power up the connection. This is the resistance, sensing resistance of the device. It's basically it's a metal resistor, laser cut to provide a certain resistance. So at 300 amps, it will give out. It will have a voltage drop of 0.075 volts or 75 millivolts. And I have these. I modified the connection according to requirement, and this would be plugged to AC. This is the AC input, AC output, again modified according to requirement. So I was just waiting for this equipment to come in so I can wire it out and test it. I'm still waiting for the other meter. So I'm going to switch over to the inverter running the house and see what happens. Whether that current will change to something else. And this can be reprogrammed according to requirement. Again, it needs to be reprogrammed because it actually will measure capacity going in and out of the battery. So we'll see how that goes. Or at least that's what I think. There's something that I don't understand with this. When I read the Lazada, maybe I misunderstood what he was trying to say. Probably. It's made in China, so sometimes they say something else and you thought you understand, but it doesn't. So right now the battery is fully charged, so the current going into the inverter battery is at around 5 amps, and so that's what it looks. And 3 amps going into the system from the solar. So I'm gonna switch over to running the house with this. So now the inverter is running the house, and the solar capacity 11 amps is going into running the inverter. Let me see if it's running or it's taking up amps from the battery. So it's taking up 1 amp from the battery. Majority of the current is coming from the actually no. Okay, 0 amp coming out of the battery. And 0 amps from the PV into the system. So most of the power is coming from the battery. Now, something's not right, of course. Again, it needs to be reprogrammed. Instead of measuring the current coming out of the battery and measuring that's way too low. So something is incorrect. Something is wired incorrectly maybe. But I think it's because this device is ground reference. When I saw the device and how it's wired up, I thought, oh, it's ground reference. They're not using differential amplifier. So it means it's not going to work or provide me raw current coming out of the battery. Really suck. Maybe I can make it work. I just realized why it wasn't working, or the way I thought it should work. It's because there's very little current being sucked out of the battery, and that's why it's like this. So I'm going to disconnect the solar so the solar capacity is not going to drive the house. So that current should change now when I do that. So I was correct. It's still wrong. The it's not as accurate. That should be like that's 4 amps coming out of the battery. $12 amps here. So it's off by multiple of 3. It's 12 amps here, and this is 4. So it's 4 times 3 would be 12. So I asked Paul to turn on the aircon. So now the load is 7550 VA, and current from the battery is 17 amps. And again, it's a multiple of 4, so it's like 20. So something like that. Anyway, it's a multiple of 4, or a factor of 4. If you're using these, just factor in amps. So I'm going to disconnect the solar and see what happens. I've disconnected the solar. So I'm measuring 12 amps out of the battery. And 35 amps from here from the battery. So it's not accurate. The device is actually working. I have to set it properly. So to set it properly, long press, and then winter current. It was set to some other value, not 300. For example, if I set it to 50, long press, then that current is wrong. So it's actually working. So what it needs to do is set the 50 to 300, and that will match with the current here. So coming out of the battery is 28 amps, and the share load of the solar is 14. So 28 plus 14 is 40 something amps. It's actually a lot, 42 amps. And it's because it's now running at 1 kilowatt or 1 kVA. That's why. So if I remove the solar, then we would see what 1 kVA look like. So I'll do that. So I removed the solar share. Now it's everything is coming out of the battery. It's 43 amps on that meter, and 41 amps on the inverter. So it don't matter. I mean, when you're sucking current like that, irrelevant whether it's off by 2 or 3. So this thing is working. Thanks for watching.